Oh, hello. Didn't notice you there. While you are there, I'm using a new editing software program from DxO. They've sent it me and I'm going to edit this image from the River Brafe. I'll give you a little backstory on that in a second. First of all, let's talk about the program. They approached me with this program for me to have a look at, and you know what, I'm quite enjoying using it. If you are interested in this, I can offer a 15% discount. I will get a little bit of kickback from that, so everyone's a winner. Okay, let's get into it. A little backstory to the image. It's an image I captured while on a photo shoot with Thumbs Up, the Facebook group. Turnout's amazing, by the way. Turnout is amazing. And one thing I wanted to do was try and capture one image or a couple of images that I captured a few years before that in the right conditions. Well, we got very similar conditions. So what I thought was, let's put it in DxO, let's put it in PhotoLab 9 and give it a little edit and see how we get on with it. Again, this is a new program for me, so it's a little learning curve for me as well, but I just wanted to show you how I get on with the edit. So this is the image. And the reason why I've chosen this image is because it's a woodland image and I like that nice soft painterly effect, and I'm going to try and create that with this program. The first thing we can do is, because it was so foggy, I actually want to bring that density back. So if we click on the clear view plus, that's at 50%, and we can already see that that's really made the tree stand out a little bit more. And you know what, I like it at, actually like it at 50%. Now clear view plus is like it's like DA's in Lightroom, so use it as the same sort of slider. But I actually really like that. So if we switch it on and off, we can see what it's done. And most of that haze is atmosphere that I'm shooting through because I'm at a real long distance. I'm probably shooting about 300mm, might even be close to 400mm that I'm shooting this at. I'm going to use clear view. We've done that. We've done our DAs on it. We're going to use the highlights, midtones, shadow sliders. I'm going to up the blacks just slightly. That will actually create that soft painterly effect. It almost looks painterly anyway. Well, I'm going to drop down the highlights a little bit. Midtones I'm just going to play with, see which way I want to go with them. Probably just down just slightly. Shadows, we might need to have to drop them down just to bring the detail out. There's not a lot of actual shadow in the image, but I want to bring the trunk of the tree details out. Obviously another way we can add contrast to an image is, we've got it in another area, but we can use the tone curve to just bring down the shadows and up the highlights like so, which, you know what, let's do that. Just looking at it now, I think I'm just going to bring down them blacks a little bit more. Fantastic, that looks brilliant. Okay, we'll go into the color module now, which is the next module along, and that's how I'm going to work. I'm going to work from left to right on the modules. It's set that way, it seems to be the right order to use it in. So I can up the temperature if I wanted to make it warmer. I don't want that, or if anything I want it colder. So somewhere there, it was probably fine as it was. We can micro adjust by using the little arrows there and just up or down that. Not going to use tint. Colour, intensity, we don't need to do that. I'm not going to touch any of that, I don't think. Actually, it's added a nice little bit of colour. It's using the camera, DxO camera profile. We've got all vibrant, we've got all these different profiles that we can pick. Actually, I'm going to use the vibrant because I want to bring that colour out. Now, as for colour goes, I've not really touched this colour panel yet because the only one I've really edited was a black and white. But we've got all these colour sliders, channels that we can use. I'm going to up the I'm going to up the vibrance, actually, not the saturation, and I'm going to want to bring them autumn colours out. They look fantastic, and just gently sliding it up till I think, you know what, that's enough there, somewhere like that. The channel mixer, we're going to just have a look at the yellows, see what the yellows do. Probably bring that colour out in obviously them yellows, because it's them autumn colours, and maybe just up the reds a little bit as well. We'll go on to the next module, which is detail. Okay, detail. It's already added chromatic aberration. They've already switched on. You can switch them off, etc. We can adjust the sharpness and things like that. Intensity of the sharpness. I want to keep that soft effect. I like it as it is. There's no need for me to adjust any of these. I think we can switch that on and just maybe have a little look at the sharpening. Maybe just up it a little bit, just to give it a little bit of punch, actually. I'm happy at that. I'm happy at any of them adjustments. So we'll jump over to the basically cropping, leveling up the geometry of it. Now what I want is, I think I'm just going to crop the bottom off here just slightly, just to get rid of that little patch of grass. So if we go into the crop tool, and we're just going to bring that crop up to about there, enter, and that's the cropping done. That's looking lovely. That's looking really, really nice. So we can just click through them. We can have a little look before and after with this fantastic slide. I love that, love that. We can jump through different ways of viewing it, left and right, but you can see how much detail we brought out in that image there. It looks fantastic, it really does. So we'll just go, love that. I like that. I just like to play with it. It's great. Effects is blur, things like that. Don't use that. And then we've got the masking. You know what, I don't think I really need to do a lot of masking. A hue mask. So let's pick that colour there. Okay, so that's selected an area which I want to actually adjust, and we can bring the highlights up on that. Basically adding more sort of fog effect. If we drop the blacks as well, we'll just have a look at what that's done by switching it on and off. So that's just added that little bit of a fog. Let's just create another mask. We'll select a different, the only thing it has done is created a halo. Let's just go back to that mask and we'll drop down the opacity of that mask. That's better. It's a little bit strong, that is, but that is better. It looks more natural. Let's go back to mask 3. We'll click on another area there. Not what I want. I'm just selecting through that area, and we'll just drop the exposure down a touch. Or shall we? No, we'll just drop it down a touch, and again drop the opacity of that as well. Okay, that is looking so nice. What I'm trying to do is make the tree just stand out even more. So we'll just add a new mask, brush, just going to paint over the tree area, and I'm just going to up clear view basically the denoise just where the tree is, just to make it pop, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of contrast. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll adjust the micro contrast. There we go, and what that's doing is really making that tree stand out. I like that a lot. We'll just have a look before and after that. So it's really gave that tree a lot of punch. We'll just go back to the before and after the images, like so. That is looking so good. And you know what, I think I'm happy with that. Again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it through a denoise program. So if we export it to the NIC collection, and then I'm going to run it on Define, and it's basically a noise reduction program. Because what I like to do when we're doing aggressive edits, especially in darker images, we'll start creating noise, especially if we're using that DA slider, the clear view plus slider. We will create a little bit of noise, and so I'll run it through a denoise program which helps with that noise. I've got to be honest with you, it's looking pretty good as it is, to be honest. And it will also add a little bit of, we're going to up the colour noise like so. That is so good. Definitely worth doing. Wow. And we'll apply that. It's quite simple. It's a quick process. It works fantastically and well worth doing. That will do that. It'll send it back into PhotoLab, and then we'll export it as a TIFF. And if we wanted to, the reason why I'll export, well, we can export it as a TIFF or whatever we want to export it as. But that's a really nice image. I'm so pleased with that, and it's quite an easy edit as well. File and export to disk. We can select in here whether it's a JPEG. We'll export it as a JPEG because I'm done. We'll just put the quality right up. Actually, we'll leave it as it is. But I'm finished with that image, and I'm extremely happy with it. Fantastic. I've enjoyed that little edit. Thanks for watching. See you soon.